Hey, all you Monday Clubbers out there, I'm Gus Davis.
And I'm Peter Bois.
And we're here to be the masters of Monday.
And we're pretty good at debating, too.
Monday. It's Monday Club Monday. We have an amazing episode for you. This is episode 52. We're celebrating being 1 year old. We're going to give our cheers to a girl who gets stuck in a basketball hoop. Pete goes to a show. My son has surgery. Pete and Gus both survived the crazy nor'easter that was up east. We talk about the news and then we make up the news. Stories from the road, this week's Teachable Moment, and so much more. Oh my God, we're a year old! Woohoo!
Hey, Gus Davis, it's Monday!
Cheers! What's up, man? How are you?
I am good, man. How are you? I see a different hotel room in your background. What's going on?
Yeah, dude, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina this week. This is my 4th episode to record from the road, which by my count means that this is my 1 month anniversary of being on the road. I've actually gotten to be home, I think, 3 or 4 days in this month, but everything else has been on tour. So I get to go home tomorrow, and I am super stoked about that.
Well, congratulations. You've made it a month.
Yeah, thanks.
You know what that means? Gus is heavily in demand.
Well, sure. It also means that when I get home, I'm going to have Shannon's just going to be staring at me like, I don't know what you're thinking you're going to do, but first you got to take out the trash.
Yeah, you know how big your honeydew list is getting right now?
It's terrible. It's terrible. Plus, it's like, hey, we should go out to eat because you haven't been here to take me out to eat.
And all you want to do is lay on the couch.
That's right. But whatever. It's Monday. I'm happy to be here. I was looking forward to Monday Club all day. In fact, Monday Club, I'm just going to go ahead and pony this up. I pretty much started drinking at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon this Monday to get ready for Monday Club.
You were pre-gaming for Monday Club?
I was pre-gaming for Monday Club, so I'm ready.
Idea.
Bring it on.
That's a great idea. We should have tailgate parties for Monday Club.
Oh, when we do a Monday Club live, we are definitely going to have a tailgate before we record. Just everybody come out. We'll barbecue. We'll drink. We'll just get it on, and then we'll record it, and then people will understand everything we're saying instead of it just being funny to us.
Let them in. It's almost like getting stuck in a basketball hoop.
Nice transition. So that's right, Monday Club. This week we're doing our cheers of the week to a girl who gets stuck in a basketball hoop. Did I say that right? I think I did. She gets stuck in a baskbasketball hoop.
How did she get stuck in a basketball hoop? Did someone shoot her into a basketball hoop?
Monday Club, how did she here's what I want to do.
Up there?
I want to describe the video first. It's a short video. You guys should all check it out. We'll link it into the bio of this episode. But it's a short video, and you should watch it. But the thing that gets me about this video is that you don't see the before that leads up to the video or the after of when it's all done. You just see the middle of the video. So, Pete, do you want to tell people what this is?
Well, yeah. When you first click on the link, you will see a video screen with a girl's legs hanging out from knee to foot out of a basketball hoop with her butt just kind of dangling through the net and her head still above the rim as well. And then you see firefighters below her basically just kind of cradling her back and butt trying to get her through this hoop safely.
Yeah, there's 6 or 7 firefighters there, 2 of whom are doing their best to support her by holding her butt, and they're trying to be so gentle about it. Like, you can see that one dude has his hands closed, so it's just
I was just going to mention that. What a gentleman. He's not even got the palms there.
No, he's not groping with his hands. He's got the full-on fists, and their job is to support her butt because it looks like a giant slam dunked her into the hoop.
That's exactly what it looks like. A giant slam dunked this chick into a hoop. I couldn't have said it any better. I don't know what she was doing up there, how she got up there. Like you said, a giant put her there. I love how like two of the rescue workers are wearing helmets too.
Yeah, this is
What
a
is
big
that?
deal. And what's hilarious about this too, and it becomes apparent towards the end of the video, but this chick is a high school chick. Like, you can tell she is high school or early college, right? And it's funny because how embarrassing is it? She's wearing like yoga pants and just like she's folded in half, stuck inside of a basketball hoop. And these 7 firefighters are around her, 2 of whom are supporting her by her butt. The other 2 are using a knife to try to cut the net away from the rim so that they can try to get her through the thing. And she's just mortified, just red-faced and mortified the entire time, which, you know, one would be when they got slam dunked by a giant into a basketball hoop.
Maybe she lost a bet and she had to climb up there with a
dude, that's
a
it.
ladder,
and
and then
they took the ladder away and ran.
Yeah,
like that's what I love so much about this video is all of the ways that my brain went on how she ended up there. Like, because I thought about it, I was like, well, did she like try to dunk and then like pull herself up and then like try to slide through the hoop? Probably not. Like,
you ever play
you know,
those lateral thinking exercise games where there's a scenario like there's an 82-year-old guy dead on the floor with a puddle of water, and then there are 3 2-inch sized discs lying next to him. What happened and how did he die? And you have to figure out what happened to him. And there's enough clues to give you the right answer.
Oh,
you ever play stuff?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah. Yeah,
it sounds like
fun,
that.
Man.
Like,
yeah.
There's a girl. She's stuck in a hoop. There are 4 guys under her.
There's a 19-year-old chick. She's stuck in a basketball hoop. She
what happened?
She's folded in half and she can't get out. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Anyway, cheers first of all to you, girl, for getting folded and stuck inside of this thing and showing us the true definition of being embarrassed. But also, cheers to you, firefighters, for just being awesome people and saving cats out of trees and fighting fires and every once in a while getting co-eds out of basketball hoops.
Cheers to you, firefighters and girl in hoop. This week, I am drinking. I got a bunch of Red Stripes still in my fridge from a couple of weeks ago, so I'm down in some Red Stripes tonight.
It's beer! Hooray, beer!
Yeah, I'm on. Always makes me...
and I gotta say, Pete, you by buying those Red Stripes are supporting the women's Jamaican bobsled team. So good for you.
Thank you.
Way to do your civic duty
I will
with beer.
cheers myself for that.
Well, Monday Club, I started off by going to a sushi restaurant, and frankly, if I'm just going to be honest with you, and I feel like I should be, having an irresponsible amount of sake before I started recording Monday Club. So I stopped off at the gas station, and it was one of those gas stations where I really was looking for like a good beer to have and talk about on the air. But it turns out that all they have is like Natty Light and Milwaukee's Beast, and that was pretty much it until the very end. There was one box of Stella. So I'm drinking a Stella, maybe 2, on this episode of Monday Club, and dude, I'm partying it up. I'm so excited. Do you realize that this is our 52nd episode?
It is. Yes, I saw that number before we started, and I kind of had a big gulp. I was like, "What? 52? That means there are 52 weeks in a year.
A week.
Yeah. We haven't missed an episode for an entire year.
Like, dude, come here. Give me a hug. Come here. Bring it in.
Skype hug. I know. Congratulations to us on a year anniversary. We're completely 1 year old, and it's pretty amazing. To do podcasting, it's kind of a commitment. So it's not just in a lot of podcasts. The first time I tried Monday Club with Norm, we lasted 10 episodes, and we completely blew that out of the water times, I don't know, 5? 5 and
way to math
20%.
Yeah, what's funny is I remember when we did our 11th episode, and we were so excited because that was the longest Monday Club had ever run. And now here we are looking back, and we're like, oh, that's 1 year down. I guess year 5 is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And who Pete do we have to thank for being a year old of Monday Club?
Who do we have to thank? We have to thank you, our listeners. Thank you, Monday Club. Monday Clubbers. I'm getting a little teary-eyed now.
I know,
We'd like to thank all the Monday Clubbers that made this day possible. You're so amazing. You listen to our stupid talk every week. It's amazing. And you get great tips from us and beer. It's wonderful. But no, thank you guys so much for listening to Monday Club, being part of the club. You're the reason why we do this. And make sure check us out on Spotify and YouTube. Give us a little love on iTunes. Spread the word of Monday Club. Spread the sermons of Monday Club. I don't know. Yeah, the sermon is Party on a Monday. Monday's the new Saturday. So spread that. Spread your favorite episodes around. We want to grow the club. And make sure you Monday Club Podcast at gmail.com, us for all your email needs. And if you need to buy us a drink, it is a deep need sometimes to buy another human being a drink. You can PayPal us, Monday Club Podcast at gmail.com, with what you want us to drink.
Yeah. Monday Clubbers, I want to also say thank you guys so much for listening to all of our shenanigans, for sticking with us, for giving us suggestions on things to talk about. One of my favorite things when I post anything on social media is somewhere in the thread of the comments, someone says something like, hey, that sounds like a teachable moment with a winky face. And it just makes me so freaking happy every time I realize that people are hanging out with us in the little tree fort we call Monday Club. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and friend of the show, Tristan.
Oh, yeah.
Yes? I saw this on Facebook. You are engaged. Congratulations. We want to send a big old cheers and out to you, Tristan, and future husband. Congratulations, guys. I hope you have many long years of listening to Monday Club together and cuddling.
Yeah, cheers to that. So I saw that she got engaged, and I was like, yay, we got one more listener.
Now he's forced to listen. He inherited our podcast. He gets us
in
the
relationship.
So what's been going on lately? I went to go see a magic show. I went to my buddy Adam Trent's magic show. He was coming through Portland at the Merrill Auditorium, and I hooked up with him the day before and had dinner with him and talk shop, and super cool guy. I've met up with him a couple of times. This is the first time I really got to hang out with him, and super cool guy, super nice. We just talked about, a lot of magic and business and life and all that stuff. He's been on the road for like 8 months straight touring this theater show, and
wow.
He's definitely ready to go home as well. So
yeah, I feel that.
But his show was fantastic. I went with Norman and his wife, and it was a fantastic show. The opening, the whole thing was great. If you go see it, you're gonna love it. But for me, being a magician, and the opening was just perfect and beautiful. It was. I've never seen anything like it before. So imagine there's picture holograms, and they're holograms on stage, right? And things are floating in the air, and it's all this hologram, and talking about how Adam got started in magic. And then there's a holographic Adam on stage. You don't see a screen, right? They're using a scrim with a projection through it, so it looks 3D, and it looks like it's just floating in air, all these images, and it's a projected image of him on a scrim, but it looks like a holograph floating in air. And then he drops to the ground, and then he becomes real, and he's just there like that. And it's just like this crazy eye candy that's just so beautiful, well choreographed, and looks like pure magic. If you were doing real magic, this is exactly how it would look. And then other things appear, his costume changes, all using these holographic things to help augment the image. And then the craziest thing where he uses music and throughout his show because I guess he's a musician and he's a piano player, and so there's an empty stage, and then on the downbeat he puts his both hands down like he's gonna bang a chord on the piano, and there's nothing there, right? And then you see all these holographic swirls, and as soon as he goes boom on the piano, all those swirls just form into a piano, and there's a huge grand piano on stage.
Oh,
that's
what
like,
a great idea!
Yeah, and it's like this crazy steel, beautiful grand piano it's like a skeletal, but not skeletal, but it's like a hollow, and it's just like really, really well done. Anyways, that was definitely an amazing part that you have to see live to even believe that something like that is possible of portraying.
Dude, one of the things I really love about you, Pete, is I've been to a couple of magic shows with you, including Copperfield. You and I got to go to Copperfield together, and I love watching you and Nate specifically at those shows, because y'all are not only great performers and magicians in your own right, you guys are also perfect audience members. Like, you don't sit back with your arms crossed and like worry about the method or anything like that. Like, you guys are just straight up like, I want to enjoy this experience. I can break it down later or think about the odds and ends of it, but like during the performance you're like totally zoned into it, and I think that's awesome.
Thanks, man. I think that's how everybody should go to a show, whether you're a magician or not. Or for me, when I go to a show, you have to lose me. I'm already buying into whatever you're selling, I'm ready. You have to really be bad to lose me. Not saying that Adam's bad by any means, but like, right. I'm there, I want to buy in, I want this experience, I want I don't have any, I'm trying not to come in with any preconceived notions or expectations. I'm just ready to take in what your vision is for your show. And if, and there are a lot of different levels and places people can be when they're trying to put on a show. So some people just want cool tricks. Some people want really heady, talk and monologue with tricks, and I can get into that. And so I just try to meet them where they are and enjoy it for what it is. That being said, sometimes they do lose me, and you see bad shows, but
well, I mean, that's going to happen no matter what. I mean, you go see bad movies, you go see bad shows, all of that's true. Do you think does it change your experience because you knew Adam at all, or do you think it would have been the same either way?
I already liked him, so he didn't have to make me like him on stage. But he's a very likable person on and off stage, so that wasn't hard. So no, I don't think it really. I thought it was cooler. When you see somebody on stage doing awesome, badass stuff, you're like, you kind of feel a little bit of pride that you're a friend with him, or her.
Right.
And so I don't think it maybe slightly in that regards, but overall, no.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest secrets. I know there's a lot of people who are in the magic or the performing world out there who are listening to Monday Club, and I think that one of the things that I've found is if you can make people like you, like as soon as you walk out, if people decide that they like you as a person, then you can get away with so much stuff. Because they're rooting for you. They want you to succeed. They want to feel like at the end of the night that they could high five you and be like, "Hey man, that was fun." That's all they want. And so yeah, if it helps to start off being a good person. So Adam Trent, way to be a good human being. But also it does help for the audience to kind of alleviate some of their combativeness if as soon as you hit the stage they're like, oh, this is somebody that I'd like to have a beer with or something like that.
Yeah, and it also helps you if you screw up.
Sure.
There was a show, I've screwed up more than once on stage, but specifically there was a show last summer I was doing, and I had friends in the audience, and technically wasn't my fault to screw up. This woman needed eyeglasses to read, and she wasn't reading with eyeglasses, so she read something wrong, and it screwed up the whole trick.
No.
So, but, now I actually carry, when I do shows for older people, I carry a pair of reading glasses in my case in case. And then I always very carefully ask them, do you need glasses to read? And anyways, that whole trick completely screwed up. It was a waste of 5 minutes, and because everyone liked me, they were on my side, and they were willing to just suck that up and go on me to the next one. And this is what my friends and other people were telling me after the show. Friends would tell me that there were magicians that were in the audience. They're like, you didn't lose the audience because everyone still liked you, and they wanted to see what was next. So it helps.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time I was doing? It was like way early in my career. I was a teenage magician at the time, and I was doing a retirement community, and I went to do cut and restore rope. So for those of you who don't know anything about magic at all, cut and restore rope is probably one of the first birthday party tricks that everybody learns to do. Anyway, I don't know how, but I screwed it up. I totally and completely screwed up the trick, and without giving the method away of a cut and restore rope, I cut the rope in half and could not put it back together because it was actually cut in half, right? So I cut it in half, and as soon as I cut it, I was like, oh, shit. Like, this isn't going to work. And so I basically just, I flubbed it, right? I was just like, okay, well, that's what it would look like if you cut it for real. Let me show you another thing, and moved on to something else. So I tossed the two ropes to the back, and I had another rope set aside, just randomly, another rope on in my kit, and this guy who was I'm going to call him stage managing, but really he was just the guy who had me. He got the rope that was that was the extra rope, and he went backstage and surreptitiously he cut it in half for me, and then brought it out to me and was like, "Hey," like in an offstage whisper, he was like, "Hey, I went ahead and cut that rope for you, so if you want to try that trick again, go ahead." And I was like, oh, no, it's cool. We're going to move on to something else. It's cool. Thank you very much. And gave him a big round of applause, and didn't lose the audience. Everybody loved me. I was a cute kid, and I was at an old folks home. But it didn't occur to me till after the show. I was like, wait, he cut the rope in half? Well, that's not how that works. So
he's just going to make you look like a double.
Yeah, and like look stupid twice.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So yeah, but yeah, getting the audience to love you and to like you is a huge win, and yeah, I think they're willing to accept failure or give you a whole lot of leeway. Some of the most sincere friends that started off as clients have come from where something disastrous went down, and your humanness kicks in and you save it that way, and they realize like, oh, this person isn't just good at what they do, they're also a good human being. And so yeah, there's a tip for all you people who are out there doing shows and just getting started or working up on a bigger show is it's better to be loved than to be perfect, because I know a lot of magicians that are super technical and like far better than I will ever be, but some of their personalities come across as abrasive, and so if you see anything or they flash something, or even just to be a jerk, they get a lot of combativeness, where I've seen Pete handle a lot of drunken people just be like, hey man, it's it's cool, it's whatever, and they're like, yeah, you're cool, let's go have a beer.
Guess what? We're getting a lot of traction with 6th graders. Monday Club.
Are we?
Yeah. Getting a lot of traction, apparently. No, I had a friend of mine, Chris, threw out on Facebook if he knew of any podcasters that his 10, 11-year-old son could interview for his class project. So I chimed in and said, yeah, if you want, I'm here. So the other day, we Skyped and chatted for about 10 minutes and asked me some questions about podcasting. So,
oh snap! You got interviewed by a 10-year-old?
Yeah, it was great. He wants to be a podcaster, so hopefully it works. He's really smart. I would have been so freaking nervous talking to an adult type of person when I was his age, I would have
talking to an amazing rock star like myself.
No, just an adult. I would have been complete. Let alone me. I mean,
right.
So every time I see a kid handle himself or herself like an adult in adult presence of adults, I'm always like, oh my God, where did they learn how to do that? They're 10 years ahead of me. Than the spot I was.
What did they ask? What did this person ask you?
He was asking about why and how I started podcasting and what is it about. I didn't tell him about all the alcoholic beverages on the show. He asked how we promote, what's the hardest thing about podcasting, is music important to podcasting, and so we chatted for a bit, and then I did a magic.
Did you play him our Teachable Moments jingle?
No, I didn't. I should have played some of our music. That would have been good.
Well, what's this kid's name?
Theo.
Theo? Well, cheers to you, Theo. And when you're old enough, you can come have one with us.
Sounds good.
Well, so I did get to go home for 2 days, and I was home for 2 days. The day I got back, I got back the night before, but the full day that I was back, my son went to go have surgery on his belly button, and it's the first time that I've ever, as a dad, had to deal with surgery, and man, it was a tough week. It was funny because I handled it way worse than he did. Like, all Bryce wanted to do was when he got to the surgery, he was a tiny bit nervous. These 3 nurses came in and they're like, "Oh, look, we're going to take such good care of you." And they gave him high fives. And then they were like, "So the big question is, what kind of knockout gas do you want?" And they were like, "You can have bubblegum or cherry or vanilla or cookies and cream or cake." And he was like, "Oh man, those all sound so good." And they're like, "Or if you're super cool, we can combine them and you can have like a combination of 2 different flavors." And he was like, "Can I have cherry cake?" And they were like, "Oh hell yeah, you can have cherry cake." And he's like, "Yes!" And that's all he cared about. Like, then he didn't even care about the surgery. He's like,
that's awesome. And is this? But do they really have flavored knockout gas?
Who knows, right? Like, who knows? Because that could be like them lying to the kid just straight to their face, and they're like, they put the mask on the kid, and they're like, "Hey, do you smell the cherry cake?" And they're like, "No, not yet." They're like, "Well, take a deep breath, see if you can smell it," and then they're out, and they wake up, and they'll never see that kid again.
Yeah, that's a perfect lie for a kid.
It is. It's a perfect lie. You're not going to remember it. So anyway, he got home that day, and the first day was kind of rough, but after that, he's a trooper, man. And he like 2 days after his surgery, he was like, "Hey, can we go outside and play baseball?" I was like, "No, kid, no, we can't.
Let's not rip those stitches open."
Yeah, but he got the bandage off today, and his outie is now an innie. And it's still swollen, but it's getting better. And so for all of you who were in the know and were thinking about Bryce, we certainly appreciate it. He's doing great, and he's ready for his spring break, and he's ready to show off his new belly button.
Nice, on spring break. Welcome to the Innie Club,
yeah.
Bryce. That's exciting.
That's right, man. That's right. That's a big deal,
dude.
It's funny. He was really self-conscious about his belly button. I guess he turned 9 years old, and all of a sudden he realized that his belly button was different than everybody else's, and he was really self-conscious about it. So I'm happy for the kid. Plus, it turns out that he had a 1-inch hole as a hernia. Like, it was a significantly sized hole, so they fixed that, and it was a good decision all around. So that's crazy. Thanks everybody for thinking about Bryce. We appreciate it.
Yeah, putting your kid under anesthesia is the craziest thing. Our son has tubes in his ears, and so he had to go under for that. And he was 1 at the time, and he just had constant ear infections, and that's the craziest. As a parent, like I had to be in the room when he first went under. Otherwise, he would have just been crazy. So they asked a parent to come in, and so he's on the table, he's being held, everyone's around him, and he's kind of like enjoying the barnyard on someone's iPhone, and then they put the mask over him, and he starts crying, and he looks at you with those eyes and the tears in the eyes, and he's screaming, and he's looking at you, and you're just like about to completely lose it, and then all of a sudden he goes limp, and he's gone. At that moment, you're just like, oh my God. I immediately looked at the heartbeat monitor, and I was like, okay, that's his, right? That's his heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
It was very tough. I mean, I walked away and I just started like choking up. I'm like, oh my God, it's scary.
Yeah, it is scary, man. It's one of those things where right before the surgery, I had that second thoughts where I was like, it's not going to kill him if he doesn't have the surgery, and there's that tiny, tiny chance that it does kill him to have the surgery. And so, man, maybe I just put him in the forest and let him run free for the rest of his life. So, but no, it was good, and the surgeon did a great job. He was he was done with pain after 2 or 3 days. So I got to be home for all of that, and then when he started to feel better, I got back on the road. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Glad all
Speaking
is well,
of getting
Bryce.
on the road, I looked at your Facebook feed, and it looks like you've been in like crazy blizzards and nor'easters and stuff like that.
Holy
You guys
crap.
okay?
Yeah, we got a foot and a half of snow, I think. It was insane. Everything was shut down. We got so much snow. Our lights or our power went out at 2 a.m. in the morning. Of course, I didn't see that till 6 a.m. when I woke up, and then I got my ass out of bed at 6 a.m. and went into the garage and took out the generator and shoveled a path in the snow to get the generator outside awful. And plug it into the house, and turned it on and gave ourselves some power for the day. Luckily, the power came back on around 4 p.m., so it was just in time for nighttime. But I took the dog for a walk and in the snow, and at the end of the road, I saw the culprit. A tree was completely crushed our power lines going to our road, so it was... at least we knew where the problem was. It wasn't a
well, there's the problem.
It wasn't a mystery.
Yeah.
Like, when are they going to fix those weird lines that we have no clue? We knew exactly what they needed to fix.
Right. Well, for me, being from Texas, I had never experienced a nor'easter, and we flew into Philadelphia. James and I flew into Philadelphia, and we get there, and as we're touching down, the snow starts. And so we, as we're getting off the plane, we're looking at the board where it shows where your luggage is going to be, and you can just see all of the flights flip from like on time to delayed or canceled. Just red all across the board. And it turns out at the end of the day, they canceled something like 2,800 flights.
Damn.
So we barely made it in on time. And then as we were driving away from there, it just got worse and worse. It was literally snowing sideways. It was blowing, I think, at 40 miles an hour, maybe more, and the snow was coming in completely sideways. And but we landed in Philly, and we were hungry, so we were like, we should go get a Philadelphia, like a Philly cheesesteak. And so we drove to this Philly cheesesteak place, and we had to walk up a hill, and that was, I think, the worst moment of the whole thing for us, because walking up the hill, the wind and the snow was pointed directly into our faces. And so it was like you're leaning in and the snow is just stinging your face, and we're just trudging through to try to get to the sandwich spot. And so anyway, priorities, man. We got our Philly cheesesteak, so that was good. And then we had to drive to New Jersey to go do our show. And as we're driving, I called a client in New Jersey, and I'm like, hey, it's you might have seen that there's a blizzard outside. Is this thing still going to happen? And they're like, yeah, it's totally going to happen. We're not going to be able to help you, and also there's no parking anywhere near the venue. So if you guys could just lug all of your stuff from across the street over to the venue, that would be great. We were like, oh, this is going to be great.
In a killer snowstorm.
When we got there, they definitely Yeah, they definitely came out and helped, and so it turned out to be a totally good show. And by the time we left, the wind had stopped blowing, and it was just cold. But no wind makes it a win for us because we could fly out the next day. So anyway, yeah, man, we didn't have power loss, but we certainly did have. We were driving in it, and driving in that nor'easter was nuts. It's totally crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna get another one tomorrow up here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think North Carolina is going to get this. So everything's shut down already for tomorrow, and we're holding up. And it's supposed to last till Wednesday morning, and I'm supposed to drive to Philly Wednesday morning. So I'll probably be driving at least a couple hours in the tail end of this next storm. I will keep you posted how that goes on episode 53.
Yeah, do that. Also, if you need a Philly cheesesteak place, I'll tell you because it was pretty good.
All right, cool. Is it the famous one?
It was one of them though. It was whatever was near our hotel, but it had very good reviews on Yelp.
Cool.
Yeah.
This week in the news.
Nice.
Very good. Very good intro. So, tell us, what is this week in the news, Gus? What are we going to talk about that's newsworthy?
So, Monday Club, we want to bring you news stories that are uplifting and that are apropos to Monday Club in some realm or fashion. And this week, one of the things that's been popping up on my news feeds all over the place is that they're resurrecting American Idol with 3 different judges, but it's the exact same format, with the exact same audition process, with the exact same host, Ryan Seacrest. And I just reading all of that and seeing all the hype for it, like, I wanted to ask you, man, like first impressions, what do you think of that coming back exactly in the same format?
First of all, American Idol went away.
Yeah.
I didn't. I guess I just assumed either it's been off the air for a very long time, or I just haven't. It's been going on, and I just never cared.
Well, no, man, it got replaced by The Voice and AGT and all of the other reality TV shows, and American Idol phased out after a pretty long run.
What are they calling it?
It's been, I think,
American Idol reboot or something.
I think they're just calling it American Idol. I saw in the news release that the TV station bought all of the rights for the logo and the music and the format, and I mean they basically bought the rights to just relaunch it.
Oh wow! So it's not even the same production company or whatever that was doing it before the.
No, yeah, it's like some TV company bought it. I mean, it's going to be on network TV, but some TV company bought it and bought it hook, line, and sinker, and they're going to just relaunch it.
Wow, they must be hurting or something. I don't know. They're digging. I think American Idol's way gone. You think people are going to watch it? I never. I mean, the first year or so, I thought the really crappy auditions were funny, and then those people that go on that they were given the wink and the nod that they knew they sucked. They just wanted to be on TV. Right. And then I found it really sad. It got to be really sad. I'm like, oh, these people really think they're good, and they're totally destroying them. How can I laugh at them? And then after that point, I just completely hated it. And I really hate judge-formatted shows now. Like, I was kind of into it for a little while, but I'm just so sick of shows where people go up in front of judges and their fate hangs in the balance of 3 people that might not have a clue about what you're doing, you know? Right. Maybe it's more of an American Idol thing, but it's just, I guess I'm sick of the whole talent show format.
Yeah, and that format, I mean, props to American Idol, because I think American Idol was the first large-scale TV show that brought that format to play, and then I think so many other reality TV shows copied it. But I think what they're banking on, and go with me on this, I think what they're banking on is that people who watched American Idol 5 or 6 years ago before it went off air, were super into it with Kelly Clarkson and Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken and all of those people. And then it sort of kind of fell apart for a little while, and then it disappeared. And now I think that they've waited 5 years, and they're like, hey, do you remember how exciting American Idol was 5 years ago or 10 years ago when you were a teenager and that was like your whole life? Can you give us more money for just one more season?
They're already playing the nostalgia card 5 years later.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for.
It used to be like 10, 20 years before you could play the nostalgia card and things were retro and cool again. Now it's 5 years.
I mean,
Is that what we're doing?
Look. Yeah, I think people are giving it like 5 years and then they're playing the retro card. Like, how many Superman reboots have there been? Or there was one year where Planet of the Apes came out twice in the same year. It's like the Marky Mark's Planet of the Apes, and then the other Planet of the Apes came out. It's like, yeah. Did you like Planet of the Apes? You'll like it again. You hated that one? Cool. We got another one.
They should call it Planets of the Apes. We have lots of planets. There are a lot of different apes. Lots of different planets. Let's show you all of them, one at a time, maybe twice a year.
Planet of the Apes on Saturn.
So, do you give the new American Idol an X, or is it going through to the next round for you?
I think that it will last 3 seasons. I think the first season, they'll promote the hell out of it, and you'll get another Kelly Clarkson. You'll get one person who has music that you'll be hearing on the radio because they're going to push it really hard. But that's what happened with American Idol, in my opinion, is that they had Kelly Clarkson, and they rode that pony all the way and invested in her and made her a superstar. And then everybody that followed, it was like their celebrity got cut in half each time. And so by the end, no one cared about who won, and it wasn't as big of a deal. So yeah, I think that it's going to last 3 seasons. The first one, you'll hear the new American Idol's songs on the radio. Second season, it might be a footnote, and the third season, it'll be finally put down like the horse that broke its leg.
I hope you're right, but I hope that only takes 1 season to do. Because I'm giving it an X. I don't want to see any more of this crap. Get it off the air.
I'm not saying I'm going to watch it. I'm just saying that's how it's going to probably play out.
Yeah. All right. We'll see.
All right.
We'll mark my words. In 3 years, when we're on episode 158, 156. We'll see if you're right.
All right. Fair.
This week, we make up the news. So, sometimes the news is boring. Sometimes you just can't get enough fun out of the news. But that's why Monday Club is here. In this week, we make up the news. In this new segment, what I'm going to do is I have searched the interwebs and I have found a few articles that I found interesting. But not the articles. I found the headlines interesting. Gus has no clue what's coming. I have not shared these headlines with him. He does not know what's coming. Whatever I say at this moment, he's hearing for the very first time. I'm going to read these headlines, and then Gus is going to tell us about what this article is about. He's going to elaborate. He's going to tell us a little bit about what is going on in this article, stuff we need to know, even though he's never heard it before. So, obviously, he's making it up. So, don't take these as real, please.
Yeah, we don't send us emails. Don't tell us that we're providing fake news. We're telling you straight up, this is fake news.
Yes, that's why it's this week we make up the news. Hence, yes. Okay. Here we go. Are you ready, Gus?
Let's do it.
All right. Headline: McDonald's was just hit with a shocking revelation that may leave everyone thinking twice about eating there.
Since the beginning of the fast food industry, McDonald's has always been first. McDonald's was the first fast food store that revolutionized the assembly line of putting food together super quick and getting it out to the customer super quick. McDonald's has always been in the headlines for both their fast food and their fat content, also for their slippery practices of designing benches that were uncomfortable so that they could get customers in and out of their buildings faster and faster. But recently, have you heard of the McFlurries?
Yeah, they're kind of a soft spot for me.
Yeah, well, the McFlurries and the Shamrock Shakes, it's coming around for the St. Patrick's Day time, and the phrase that has been in existence for a long time, scientists have finally proven that the McShit is a real thing. So when you eat McDonald's, you might have said to your friends as a joke, like, "Oh, I got the McShits." But it turns out that scientifically speaking, a McShit is actually the result of the chemical process of having a flurry or basically any food from McDonald's will scientifically result in a McShit. So if you're out there for St. Patrick's Day and you have a McFlurry and maybe some McNuggets, and you go home and you look at yourself in the mirror, hating yourself for what's happening in the bathroom, just remember that McShit is scientifically proven to happen. It's not your fault. It's science.
Do they repurpose these and sell them? Headline: Inside the crazy sex cult that invaded Oregon.
My friends, sex cults are rampant in Oregon, and it's time that the mainstream media focus in on this huge problem. Now, I want to be very straightforward with all of you so that you all have all of the necessary information. There were 3 people engaged in sex cult activities in Oregon, which was 3 more people than normally live in Oregon, because no one lives in Oregon. Oregon is an empty ass. Why it's one of the 50 states, I don't even know. But 3 people were engaged in lewd and lascivious.
It's a big word
activities.
For 2 Sakis and a Stella.
And they can be classified as a sex cult. So let's get those 3 people out of Oregon and make it where Oregon is the state that God knows, because there is nobody else that lives in Oregon. Thank you very much.
Headline: This is why you don't see people-sized salmon anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you have ever had a pet goldfish in your life, but I have. And growing up, I had goldfish and betta fish, those Japanese fighting fish, and I think I even had a one of those ray things that like suck on the side of your tank and clean it up. You know what I'm talking about. Those are fish, okay? That's a fish, okay? And I get that sometimes people go fishing and that they catch fish and they come home and like, man, I caught a fish. It was like, the size of my arm, and they eat it and they're sportsmen about it. I get that, I do. But you don't call something that is human size a fish. You call that a leviathan. And thank God, there are no more leviathan-sized salmon out there. Because do you know the McShit that I would take if I was in the water and saw a leviathan-sized salmon? That's a callback. That's a classic of comedy.
What is a leviathan? Leviathan.
Leviathan is, you know when you look at a pirate's map and on the edges of the map they have giant sea monsters?
Yeah.
Those sea monsters are human-sized salmon.
Oh.
They just can't draw very well.
Otherwise
known
as Leviathan. I can't even say that word. Leviathan.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up, Gus.
You're welcome.
It's much clearer to me as to why there aren't any human-sized salmon anymore. Headline: Magician shocks bystanders when he rips woman's head off. What? Is this real? Is this a magic trick? What is going on here, Gus? Explain this.
In the world of magic, it is commonplace to rip one's body parts off. I don't know why magicians seem to think that that's entertaining, but there's hand choppers, finger choppers, body choppers, things that make your head spin around. But magicians seem to just up the ante every year on what part of their body or someone else's body they can just take apart. And so, yeah, there's this magician that was out there, and his whole shtick was just taking different pieces of himself apart, and his grand finale was to just reach over and take the head of a woman off on the bus. And as you can imagine, that bus being a school bus, it didn't play out very well for all of the 5, 6, and 7-year-olds that were traveling back home from their day at school, in elementary school. So yeah, I mean, shock is used here, not like in the term of shock as in, whoa, that happened, but shock is in a medical situation where they had to give kids treatment for years about PTSD. So if you're out there and you're doing birthday parties and you're looking for your finale for your children's birthday party, taking someone's head off is never, ever the right choice. And that's the truth.
You know what the hard part is? Putting it back.
Didn't say he put it back.
Headline: 17 embarrassing office horror stories that'll make you want to quit your job. 17, that's a lot. I mean, can you tell us about a few of these?
All right. Office horror stories, sure. Well, on the list at number 6 is obviously the super glue coming out of the water cooler experience. That's never good. People get their mouth glued shut for hours and hours, and then they tear their lips open. It's just terrible. It's not polite. Also, I think that on their number 11 was when you have a birthday, but you only bring one slice of cake, and then you just walk around letting everybody see you with your one slice of cake, and they're excited because it's somebody's birthday and they get some cake, but you don't let them have it. It's also on, I think, number 16 on there is when the old paperclip gag where you link all of the paper clips in the office together and then just watch people just fight like rabid rats as they try to get one paperclip free while everyone else is trying to get paper clips. It's a really interesting article, and I think everyone should read it and find their own, their own favorites on there. But those are my top 3.
Yeah, super glue's my favorite. That deserves a huge round of applause for Gus Davis, everybody! Yeah! Amazing job as usual, Gus. You earn 1,000,000 Monday Club points.
Yes!
Hey, it's time for Stories from the Road.
So, Gus has been on the road enough for 2 of us, so I'm just going to hand it over to you. You got any more road stories for us this week?
Yeah, I totally have some road stories for you. So, my first road story is I was on a flight. This is only just a couple of days ago. I was on a flight, and Monday Club, you have to understand that quite literally I have not slept more than 4 or 5 hours for most of this tour. It's just been up and traveling and then getting on planes or driving or something like that. Anyway, I was already pretty loopy, and I was trying to get some sleep on this plane, and I've been listening to a lot of horror books lately, and so I have like murder mysteries and ghost stories and stuff like that rattling around in my head. And on the flight, I feel on my feet something kind of rub up against my feet. And I kind of open my eyes on the plane, and I'm like, what the hell was that? And I look, and I don't see anything, so I close my eyes again. And then I feel it again, but it's like definitely on like, not just like my toes, but the back, like my heels. So I open my eyes and I look, and Pete, I almost McShit myself. There was a kid, like a 4-year-old kid, whose entire head was underneath my seat and looking up at me.
How does he even get under there? What?
I don't know. I have no idea. But like, I saw full-on hair and eyes and teeth and smile coming through the bottom part of my of the chair in front of me on an airplane, and Monday Clubbers, I am not lying. The fact that I didn't kick this kid in the face as hard as I could while trying to scramble back is a testament to just my will and restraint. And then the kid just kind of crawled back, and the mom was so embarrassed and was, I'm so sorry. I was like, it's good. Just, I'm sorry if I kicked your kid in the face.
You could have gotten a free massage out of the deal. You're like, hey, kid.
While you're down there.
Yeah. Add to your awkward massage stories.
Yeah, that would. I pay you in peanuts.
That you get from the flight attendant.
So that was a fun thing that happened to me. The other thing that happened to me recently is I was at I think I was in Kentucky, and I was at a gas station. And, Monday Club, when you're at a gas station, you're not trying to be friendly or cheerful. You're just trying to get whatever drink or snack that you're trying to get and then get the hell out of there. So I was waiting in one line, and I without being rude, I've got to say that the two people behind the counter were not the most intelligent-looking human beings, all right? I don't know what they actually were, but they did not inspire confidence while they were behind the counter.
Would you like to invoke any stereotypes?
Nope. I think you guys are with me. So there were two registers. There was a lady at the left register. I was at the right register, and the lady at the left register was trying to get her products bought, and the register shut down. And the two clerks couldn't figure out what to do, and so the clerk that was working with me was like, "We'll just have her come over to this line, and we'll take care of her from this line." And so this poor woman picks up like 8 items and is carrying them football style, trying to hold on to them. And some of them are drinks. I know they're cold, and so I've put my stuff down on the counter, but I haven't gotten anything scanned yet. And I was like, hey, miss, if you want, you can go ahead and cut in front of me and just go ahead and finish up your transaction, and then you can get out of here, and then we'll buy our stuff. And, I was being nice. She had already waited in her line. She had tried to buy her stuff. The register took shit, so she came over. So I was like, hey, just go ahead and finish up what you were doing. And she looked at me like she was pissed, and she was like, no thanks. I was like, really? Because you can go in front of me and be done, just completely done, and then you can get out of here. And she's like, no. And then I was like, all right, that's cool. No skin off my nose, man. I can get my shit and get out of here. And the guy behind who was running the register, who was working with me, looks at the ladies like, well, haven't you heard of ChivalTREE? The word he said, Monday Club, was ChivalTREE. Chival and tree. ChivalTREE. Which isn't a word. And when he says, well, haven't you heard of ChivalTREE? Made me laugh uncontrollably. I lost my shit. I started just guffawing with laughter, which didn't make the situation look any better. Because here I am like, hey, would you like to cut? No? Well,
man, I have to stand up for ChivalTREE guy, though. He was trying to stand up for you. He knew you were in an awkward situation, and this stupid person just completely negated your goodwill, and he was trying to help you out. He's doing a solid, but a funny solid.
He was trying to help me out. He was trying to do a solid. He also called it ChivalTREE, which made the situation that much more hilarious.
Did you correct him?
Nope. I laughed and got my stuff and moonwalked out of there.
Oh, man. We have two potential show titles now. McShits and ChivalTREE. McShitty ChivalTREE. ChivalTREE. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Teachable Moments.
Ladies and gentlemen of Monday Club, my teachable moment this week is more of a recommendation, YouTube Red. Do you know, Gus, that there is a way to pay YouTube money and they will give you all of their content without ads?
What?
I know. It's crazy to think about. If you've been on YouTube, you've gotten their ads for this. But I'm telling you, I kept saying I'm not going to get sucked into their stupid scam to make more money. I'll just watch ads and get it all for free. But my son likes watching these truck videos on YouTube, so he is eating through my data. We let him watch it only pretty much while he's in the car. It helps cars, rides to and from daycare go by a lot quicker. And he is
I can totally see where that's going.
Eating through 8 gigabytes of data all by himself every month. And so YouTube Red allows you to download videos for offline viewing. So this has saved my butt. I signed up and I downloaded his favorite videos to my phone, and now we don't have to use any data for this transaction between me and YouTube, and he gets what he wants, and I don't have to pay $140 for freaking unlimited data, because Verizon took away the tier above me and just went right to unlimited for like $40 more a month. And screw you, Verizon. I'd rather give YouTube $10 a month, $15 a month, whatever it is, instead of pay you $40. I get way more value out of that. Here's a little tip too. I signed up for YouTube Red on my iPhone. Big mistake. I'm in a month trial right now, but as soon as a month passes, I'm going to be paying $13 a month for YouTube Red. Guess what? If you sign up through a web browser through your computer for YouTube Red, you pay $10. There's an Apple tax for signing up through Apple, because Apple takes 30% of that money. So YouTube tacked on $3 for signing up through your iPhone. So don't sign up.
Come on, YouTube.
Yeah, screw that. Don't sign up through your iPhone or your Apple device. Save because you can for $15 a month you can get a family plan, and you can get 6 people on YouTube Red in your family for $15 a month. So there's a little tip for you.
Oh, man. Well, Pete, thanks for paying the extra $3 so that you could do the research for all of our Monday Club fans. You're full of ChivalTREE. All right, Monday Clubbers, my teachable moment this week is one that has saved my butt so many times, and I can't believe it's taken 52 episodes for me to think about using this one as my teachable moment. But whenever you travel with multiple pieces of luggage, go out, just trust me on this, go out and buy yourself some dog collars. I can't even take credit for this. I got this from CJ, who also got this from someone else, I'm sure. It's just been passed down from touring performer to touring performer. But get yourself some dog collars. Get the extra long ones that you can adjust for however you need. And then you take your handle of your luggage, you lift it up, and then you dog collar clip it to the top handle of not the pull handle, but the top hold handle of the luggage piece in front of it. And then when you walk through the airport, all the pieces of luggage just lay on top of each other and just are on their wheels and just roll like butter right through the airport. And so when I'm traveling by myself, sometimes I have 4, 5, 6 pieces of luggage that all has equipment in it. These items of luggage are, some of them are 50 pounds, some of them are 40 pounds, but it doesn't even matter to me because I'll just clip them all together and they just kind of all lay against each other, and then I just roll it, and I can roll all of those pieces of luggage while still holding my chai tea latte in my other hand and just walk through the airport like a boss. So yeah, that's my teachable moment. Get some dog collars if you're traveling with multiple pieces of luggage. Trust me on this, it will save your back. It will save you where you have both hand or at least one hand free. It's an amazing way to travel.
Wow, very good teachable moment, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Hey, you know what playing cards and weeks in the year have in common with Monday Club?
I can't figure this out. You're gonna have to tell me.
There's 52 of all of those things. So,
oh my God!
Congratulations on 52 weeks of Monday Club!
Yay! We did it! Happy year anniversary, Gus. I will see you and everybody else next week
on Monday Club. Well, thank you guys all again so much for listening to all of our shenanigans. Please tell a friend, make sure that you tell them your favorite episode and get them hooked on Monday Club. The first one's free. We want to make sure that you all know all of our stuff. We can find us at MondayClubPodcast.com, Facebook.com/MondayClubPodcast, Twitter at MondayClubPod, Instagram at MondayClubPodcast. Email us or PayPal us a drink, MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. Special thanks to James Caldwell, our sound engineer, and of course, Zach Older for our music. Guys, thanks for hanging with us for a whole year. We will see you on episode 53 of Monday Club.